exciting is it?
Well, it's great. This is why we're here, and the sun comes out, and it's really hot, but the sun comes out, and it's exciting because we typically have been going on the road for the opening weekend of the season because usually the students aren't here. But this is a kind of a unique year that the students are already here for the start of the soccer season. So the opportunity to have Florida State come in and then Washington State come in is a real great opportunity for us to do something really big in front of the 12th man.
I mean, you've got the number 16 coming in. Obviously, we're going to present a lot of challenges, but just kind of what, I guess, what are you most looking forward to with this matchup with Florida State?
Well, first game of the season, so it's a kind of an unveiling of the team. It's a real opportunity for us to see first internally how the team will do against a really high caliber team with a lot of weapons and a lot of players who have played in the World Cup. It's going on right now, but also players who have won national championships and have a very, very high pedigree. Brian Penske's done a wonderful job of putting together this team. They've got the number one class as far as transfers coming in from different places. A couple of players who followed him over, who he signed when he was at Tennessee, who we know who did very well against us when they were at Tennessee. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us, but it's a great opportunity to hopefully get a good result against them.
What were some of your biggest takeaways from the two exhibition games y'all have had, and is there anything from those that maybe you're looking to change up or implement headed into Thursday?
Well, we want to try to implement as much of the good as we can. There were a lot of things that we thought that we did a lot better from the first exhibition to the second exhibition. We had 5 days in there to try to polish some things up that weren't right. The first time, I thought that our defending was better. I thought that our possession at times got to be really, really good. I thought we were good in transition. Scored 4 goals in the second game, where we only scored 2 goals in the first game. But this is a different animal with FSU coming in. So it'll be a different type of match in that both Texas State and SMU are teams that are at the top of their leagues and are going to be favorites to win their leagues. But so is FSU a favorite to win the ACC.
What about Washington State? I know one game at a time, but looking to Sundays against Washington State, kind of what did they bring?
So Washington State is a team that was in the Final Four just a couple of years ago. Todd Schulenberger is a friend and someone who we have a ton of respect for. Brian Blitz, who was an old college teammate of mine, was the longtime head coach at Mizzou, and Todd was his assistant. Now they've kind of changed roles, and Brian is assisting him up in Pullman. They bring a very, very athletic team to the side. They're a team that is they're exciting to watch. I don't know if they're going to be exciting to play against because they're so athletic and they're so hard to kind of keep in a box. They really break out well. They've got some players who you can't really contain them all the time, and so in the Pac-12 they've been very, very successful about playing differently than a lot of the teams in California play. So they're gonna ask a lot of questions of us that I'm hoping early in the season we're going to be able to answer.
You touched on it earlier, but I guess what's the excitement level and what kind of crowd are you expecting with not only first home game, first week of campus? I know but y'all are somewhat normally in this position of being the first A&M athletic competition on the docket, but you get to do it at home in front of a top opponent.
Well, it's Howdy Week on campus. The students will be moving into the dorms. I know, our youngest is a freshman here at A&M. I know he's already moved into his dorm, and he is in one of the private dorms. But the campus move-in date is Thursday, so I know there's going to be a lot of sweaty freshmen out there who have been moving in. We're hoping that they'll come out and kind of it's their first opportunity to be a member of the 12th man. For a lot of folks, it's their first opportunity to really come out and see what it's like to be a part of Aggie athletics. You got the 12th man rewards program that'll kick off. I know they've got a lot of things happening around that program. Ellis Field is in terrific shape right now. The surface is looking great, and hopefully all the ancillary items that go along with being at an Aggie athletic event are going to be in place. Our focus is purely on what's going to happen between the lines, but I think for the fans, it'll be exciting. And with the game kicking off at 7:00 and the breeze that's been going on, it really is. It's comfortable within the venue, and as the sun goes down, it really is it's a fun and really nice place to be. It's only a 2-hour event, so it's in, it's out, and you get a chance to finally come and root for the Aggies.
How do you try to balance? I'm sure against Florida State and against anybody, it all starts with trying to keep a clean sheet and get the goals where you can, but especially against a team like Florida State, balance, not stretching yourself out too thin and protecting the back line, but also not playing so much in a shell. You do have possession that you can't ever get down the field, and you're kind of playing on their terms.
Well, part of what we hope to do is to, we've always been a team that's all about attack, and we want to try to play on the front foot. We're not a team that's ever really bunkered in and just kind of taken licks and tried to rope-a-dope anybody, and that's not the way that we'll play against FSU. We'll come out and we'll try to get after them. We'll try to put them on their heels as much as we can. If we can outscore them, that's our first and foremost tactic is to we think that the best defense is a strong attack, and to make them have to defend us and to make them as uncomfortable as possible. It's our climate, it's our crowd, it's our field, and hopefully it's our scoreboard.
You guys, the SEC coaches had a poll. You guys were picked to finish 5th in the league. I don't know, what do you make of that?
It's a poll, and and part of it is I'm sure is due in fact to 2 years ago when we were starting a lot of freshmen. We had a down season last year. We got off to a poor start with some kind of crazy results, so that's fine. Let's maybe we'll come into some games as underdogs as the season starts. That would be fantastic. That doesn't really happen very often, so that. We have no problem with that. It's wrath of the underdog is something that we embrace. It's something that's kind of unique, and hopefully it'll be something that motivates the players. But a poll in the preseason is rarely correct at the end of the season. I think though that one of the things you're going to see about the SEC is that there are a lot of really good teams. I know there's a lot of great coaches in this league, and every game is a dogfight, and so. One of the reasons why we schedule such difficult games at the start of the season in the non-conference is because there's so many difficult games in the conference, and the SEC and the games that we have, especially here in Aggieland, are against the best teams in the league. So we have to be prepared to play against great teams in tough situations, and that's what this weekend is going to really be about. If we win these games, we're in a great position. If we don't win these games, we're still in a position where we've had an opportunity to learn from them and get ourselves better by the time the SEC part of the season rolls around.
The players kind of touched on the camaraderie of this group. They feel like they're bonding really well on and off the field. How do you feel like that aspect is going?
It's the chemistry of the group really is. I know that sounds like coach speak, but the chemistry of this group really is special. It's a great group of young women who represent the university at a level that is pretty hard to match. And whether you're talking about how they care about each other, how they care about the community, what they do for each other, the extra things that they do without really having to think about it. What they are as far as academics, they've got like a 3.5 grade point average as a team. They really are special, and it's the kind of kids that we consciously try to recruit to come to A&M. But then they put it together, and they're the ones that do the extras when no one's watching. So that's an intangible that we want to work for each other. That when the going gets really tough, that love for each other really is going to come through for them.
I talked to Miley Hayes over the summer, and she was really looking forward to this FSU matchup as it was her first one as an Aggie, but it was away. How do you feel the team is doing? Like, how do you feel they feel about this upcoming matchup?
I think they look forward to it. This is a return match from the opener 2 years ago. And we lost that game in the last minute of regulation. So, in the 90th minute, FSU breaks through and gets the goal, and that was and then they go on and win the national championship. So it was a real challenge then. They're no worse than they were. I think that we're a team that now is 2 years older. Most of the team is back from that particular group, and that was a hard lesson for our players, and it's something that hopefully that was a lesson that has made us better and stronger.